Have you struggled in deciding how to dispose of torn pictures or broken images of gods and deities? I know many do, and if you're one of them, then this video is for you. Good news is that you're not alone with this challenge. For several years, I used to have this problem where I struggled in deciding how to dispose of the torn calendar with Krishna's beautiful picture, or that painting or portrait of Goddess Lakshmi where the colors had faded over time. I still remember growing up in India in this old house of ours where we had photo frames of gods and deities on the wall. And over time, the photo paper in that frame became a nourishment to roaches and mites and a hiding place for lizards. And yet, we used to just continue to keep the torn or defaced image because we were afraid to throw away anything that contained the print of a Hindu god or deity. Then I've been to several homes where the entire picture or photo frame is covered with dark or black soot of incense sticks with the image or the face of the deity barely visible. And yet the homeowner would not discard the picture. Fear, reverence to the god or deity all play a role. Now, normally the solution has been to delay the action of disposal until one day someone comes and does the job for us. If you are a believer of the wrong definition of karma, you would think just because someone discarded the picture of the god for you, and then you are somehow protected from any type of wrongdoing. Then there are so many others who think they can take anything related to a god or deity that they don't want and just dump it into a temple. I have seen countless torn books of mantras or hymns brought and kept in temples. Similarly, broken or unwanted idols are dumped in a temple. Should it really be like this? Should we be resorting to such tactics? I remember this incident where one individual wanted to bring a big statue of Hanuman and leave it in the temple, because she had this belief that a son or daughter were not getting married due to the statue of Hanuman, who is considered a bachelor god being at her home. Such beliefs, fears, all play into the emotions of the human mind and leave an individual with guilt. Unless you are a follower of the Gita and the Upanishads. Once you follow the Gita or the Upanishad and implement it truthfully without fear, there is crystal clarity. You can be free of that guilt and take that right action. It's not like the Gita or the Upanishad says, if you like to dispose a picture of Krishna, then do these three things. Instead, if you follow the spiritual guidance of the Gita, then you have learnings that you apply to a problem. You see, the Gita and the Upanishads distill everything and anything to the fundamental elements of nature, or as they call it in Sanskrit, dravyas. Everything you see in this universe is based on the elements of earth, fire, water, air, and space. 5. Everything and every being emerges out of these 5 or a byproduct of these 5 elements. And once the utility of life is over, they dissolve or merge back into these 5 elements. Consider our own body. We grow through the food we eat, which is a byproduct of these 5 elements. And when we die, we go back into one of these elements. We are either cremated, buried, or dumped into the ocean. The same applies to the picture or an image of a god or a deity. For a shop owner, the picture or image may be another product he or she sells. It's an object of business. Once you buy it from the store, it becomes an object of reverence for you though, and you may keep it in the puja room. Now, because it has become an object of reverence, you will hesitate to dispose it off when the time comes. After all, it's pious for you. That is where the Gita's teaching comes into play. Everything in this world is recycled. Krishna says to Arjuna in chapter 2, verse 22, as a person sheds worn-out garments and wears new ones, likewise, at the time of death, the soul will cast off its worn-out body and enter a new one. Similarly, when it's time to dispose of that old picture or calendar with images of gods and deities, all you have to do is recycle it. And the reason for disposal could be anything. That broken idol, let it go back into the earth and get mixed with elements of nature. That gift cardboard box with the print or an image of a god or a deity, let it be recycled. The tarnished silver or gold coin with the picture of a deity, let it be melted and take on a new form. Let that object shed its old form and go back and become part of the five elements, so that it recycles and wears on a new body, whatever that may be. Again, the reason for disposal could be anything. Do not be drowned in this fear and think that the temple is the solution and dumping ground for disposal, or think that someone else could do it and that you escape some perceived fear of wrongdoing. You know what? Better still minimize the collection or images or pictures of God and deities to begin with and reduce the effort of disposal or even the feeling of guilt. Think twice before you overload those walls of your home with calendars and gods and deities. Think twice before you keep buying more and more idols or images of deities. In my own home itself, I limit the images to the puja room and maybe just one other place. Even in my puja room, the deity is there to serve as an anchor for worship of the divine, and not because they need to cling to the name and form or have a fear or guilt. Follow the Gita and the Upanishads and live a life of peace. Thank you. Continue to enjoy this journey.